Thank you for listening to the Golden Hour Drip podcast with me, Logan Lee Miller. Enjoy the show. Welcome back to the Golden Hour Drip podcast. I'm your host, Logan Lee Miller, and if you haven't already, please give me a like, a follow, a rate. If you've listened to the podcast before, I would really appreciate your feedback as we go into like the last quarter of the year and into 2024. I know it's a little early to think about it, but I really would appreciate the feedback as I'm preparing for the end of 2023 and in preparation for 2024. If you're new here, oh my gosh, thank you so much for joining. But let's get into it. So the last day of summer was last Friday. It was definitely the end of an era, and I just don't know what it is. But this fall season, I have a feeling it's gonna hit harder than it's ever hit before. The first day of fall, I woke up and I had to get some work done on my computer, what's new. So I slept into my office and I started working on my computer. I usually open up the curtains to look outside. I have my flowers there. You guys have heard me talk about my flowers. It's all the vibes, okay? The sky is pitch black, and by this time it should be sunny. I don't know why, but it was cloudy, overcast, thunder, all the things. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect first day of fall. So I told myself, I was like, we have got to get our work done and clean the house so then we're able to enjoy the rest of the day. I only feel good rotting on the couch if my house is clean, if I've done all the work. I cannot rot on the couch and have my mind spinning with all the things that I should be doing. That is not my personality. My personality is get it done and then you can rest. So I tell myself, all right, these are the 3 things we need to get done, because every day I write my deliverables, the things that are going to have to get done for me to be able to say my day was successful. It doesn't have to be more than 3, it just has to be the 3. Big, small, it doesn't matter. So I'm writing out my 3 things, and it's finish editing my YouTube video, it's clean the house, and transition my clothes from fall to summer. Summer to fall. And I'm like, all right, we're gonna get this done. And so I'm hustling around, trying to clean. And as I'm doing these things, because I think cleaning is so imperative for the transition of the seasons. Just like we do spring cleaning, we need to do end of summer into fall cleaning to get us reset and recalibrated, to take inventory of the stuff we've accumulated, take inventory of the spaces we've been using. I do it every time, okay? It does not matter. So fall to winter, I'll take audit again. Usually that's my least productive or least effective transition or cleaning period, because let's be honest, it's pretty rough during the holidays. But I like to do it as, okay, Thanksgiving, Christmas is over. We need to clean up a little bit. We need to go through our things for the new year. So I guess it is pretty effective. But that February, March, into spring, that's where I have to really buckle down, get it done. But I like the transitions and I like cleaning because it makes you become aware of what has, like I said, accumulated. So I'm picking up things and I'm ready to welcome the next season. And as I'm cleaning, I have this thought to do something I've never done before, because I am a no clutter girly. I despise clutter. It makes me anxious for some reason. I get overstimulated. I like everything to have its own area to go and be in a box, okay? That's how I live my life. So then I know at home things are structured, so when I go out, I can have the unstructuredness and then know when I come home, things are gonna be fine. So I'm going through things and I'm like, you know what? I kinda have the urge to decorate the other areas in our house besides the living room and the kitchen that everybody sees for fall and the holidays. I don't know why, because I don't like to overconsume. I don't like to have a lot of things. And I'm like, you know what? It would be really, really cute to decorate for fall in my office. This is something I've never done. So right now I have, if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see I'm in a white chair. These are blankets from Walmart that I covered on chairs that I got at a discount. So they're definitely DIY. But I have these paisley pillows. They're turquoise, super, super cute. Since I have two chairs, I have two pillows. This is what it looks like on YouTube. They are very springtime. They're actually outdoor pillows that I got. And I had the intentions of putting them on Garrett's little bench outside. I just never did it. I wanted to use them inside before I put them outside. So I've loved them. I think they have definitely added so much cheeriness to my office, but I'm because I'm spending so much time at home, I work from home, I'm a homebody, I never leave except for when I'm traveling. I want to make my space the homiest, comfortablest place possible. And if my studio has some fall pillows, or I don't know, like I just have the urge to decorate for fall in the bedroom and in my office and in the spare bedroom, like this urge to go out and start curating my home. I've never felt this way before. Maybe it's because I've reached a certain age in my life. I'm 25, well into my 25th year of life. So I want to decorate. I've never done that before besides candles and soap. Like I put flavored candles, smell scented, like different scented candles throughout the house. They're fall. And then in the bathrooms, I'll have like fall scented or spring scented or summer oasis, like whatever throughout the house, but I've never had like a pumpkin or a throw pillow. That is, I don't know. I kind of want to do it. And I like want to go out, but I don't know if this is just like because it's the next season and I'm just excited for it. And this morning it was all moody out. I was like, yes, like I want to get in the season. I want to cozy up on the couch. I want to have a nesting house. Like I want all the things, right? And maybe it's just luring myself into discomfort in the future when I have to pack it up or put it in the attic. Like the transition of stuff is sometimes really annoying, like storing the things that you have in your house. But next weekend is Adriana's wedding. I'm so excited. So Adriana and oh my gosh, I don't know what I was trying to say there. Adriana is Garrett's cousin and my sorority sister. We were in the same pledge class. We did a lot of the leadership positions in our sorority. We're very good friends, and her wedding is this upcoming weekend. Well, it's also my in-laws are coming into town and my sister-in-law and her boyfriend. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's so stressful. And so I'm like trying to get the house cleaned before they come because I want to make sure, I'm a good hostess and I have all my things sorted out. So I want to have my home, one for myself, to experience October, November, because I don't know if you know this, like I've had a lot of anxiety around like Halloween and scary stuff from like past like nightmares, whatever. It doesn't matter. So it's really hard for me to get in the spirit of fall and like Halloween and stuff. So I'm not saying I'm gonna decorate for spooky because I'm more of a fall girl than a spooky girl, but this is the first year since like I can't even remember when, that I am like kind of wanting to welcome fall and the season and the decor, because before and I kind of get emotional right now. Like I haven't ever felt that urge before. Like I've always just like tried to survive through October into November, like looking forward to Thanksgiving and into Christmas. But October was a month I really, really struggled, and And Garrett and I's anniversary is coming up. So it's like all the things, right? It's only like reasonable that I have like some anxiety around October because like it's just, and years past has always been like the stressor for me. And this is the first year that I'm like, yes, I want to decorate. I want to do all the things. I want to lean into it. Now you probably won't see me with a spooky skeleton in my house, but you know what? Like I might have orange pillows in my my office. So progress. That's what I'm all about. Is progress and working on your goals and making sure that you're healing as a human and also like reaching that next level. So I'm excited. I'm trying to prepare my home, trying to get it cleaned, which this, of course, this happens to me. I get my entire house cleaned and I'm ready to rot on the couch. And guess what? The sun comes out and it starts looking cheerful outside. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're kidding me. Like this, like, I kid you not, like 6 to 12, 6 to noon was like the perfect like Harry Potter marathon movie watching. And then at 12, I kind of get done with things. And I'm like, all right, like I'm ready to take a nap. I'm ready to sit on the couch. I'm ready to rest for a couple hours before I record my podcast or I do the next thing. And then it gets all sunny and I'm like, no nap for Logan, no movie marathon, nothing. So I have been using my Saturdays as like a working Saturday. There's some goals that I'm working on in my business and my podcast. And so I'm like, all right, like we are grinding on Saturday. There's nothing we can do except for work on our goals, except for move forward. And then Sunday has been like my resting day and not really having to do anything. The mindset shift that it has taken to have like my Sundays to not have any obligations and only do things because I want to do them and not because I have this overarching fear of, oh my gosh, I have to get this done. If I don't get this done, like I am over waiting until the deadline. I'm over like, no more. I'm not doing that. So Saturday, Friday night, and Saturday are the time for me to get things done. I've actually been loving Friday nights. I've not been doing like house cleaning necessarily on Friday. Actually, you know what? Like I have had such a transition and such like an awesome like growth period this past year. Like if this summer, if I were a tree, this summer I would have the fattest growth ring possible. Like there was times, if you don't know what I'm talking about, trees, like if you cut down a tree, you can count the rings. But if you didn't know, the fatter the rings are, the distance between each ring, that's like where the outside of the tree was, each ring can show the depth of if it was a heavy rain year or if it was like drier that year. And usually when you get more rain, you grow. I don't know if I was growing this year with all the water I was getting or if I was drowning, but it was definitely a personal growth year. And I have just like learned so much about myself and about where I want to be. And I have really focused on my routine and keeping up with it throughout the week so that I'm not stressed on the weekends. So I am doing things that might take 5 minutes, might take 10 minutes. I'm keeping up with it so that I'm not stressed on Saturday. So I'm not stressed on Sunday, and doing this has been completely life-changing. I've never been happier than I am right now in this moment. I've done so much personal growth, it's insane. And I'm just like at this really, really happy place in my life. And so I'm excited to welcome fall. I'm excited to welcome next year and, to see where I'll grow next. And they say that fall and winter are the time for the earth to rest until like the spring, and then you have to get back to work. You're planting and you're having the summer. And so I want to do a combination of both. I want my fall and winter to be rejuvenating, but I also want to continue working on my goals and growing as a person because I've enjoyed it so much. But like cleaning my house hasn't been that big of a deal. And that might seem simple to sound like, oh yeah, like who cares, like clean your house. I have to have a clean house in order to be an effective creative. I have to have space to be able to just do it. I have wanted to film vlogs since 2019. I've wanted to film vlogs, and I was embarrassed about my bedroom or my space. And in 2020 we moved into our house and I was like, this is perfect, like I'm gonna have the opportunity to like start vlogging. This is something I've wanted to do. I vlogged a little bit on TikTok and I wanted to do like a YouTube vlog, and I uploaded my first one and I was very stressed in 2020. I was juggling a lot, I think we all were. And that transition between like I'm a kid, now I'm an adult was really, really hard on me. And I had to develop the tools and tactics to get myself throughout the day. Like I had to show up for myself, and there I was mentally like not doing well. And I was in this really like tough growing period. And it was definitely a different growing period than what I am in now. It was like tears all the time. I did not have the routines and I did not have the habits to fall back on. And so I was floundering. Like I definitely was drowning that year. And so even though I went to vlog, like, and I had this beautiful house that we had just built, I couldn't, because I would have dishes stacked up or I would have laundry galore. We also didn't have that much money, so we didn't have nice furniture. We had hand-me-downs. Like I had like so many people poured into us at that time. I'm so grateful for everyone who like gave us their hand-me-downs or, you know, wedding presents. Like that was so big. We got so much of our stuff from wedding presents because I never lived by myself. I lived with my mom and all my siblings, and then I lived with my dad with another sibling, and Garrett moved in while we were like trying to get this house together. So I never had my own stuff. I never had my own space. I had always been with a parent. So it was definitely like, I was so grateful for everything that everyone did for us. Our furniture was, we had gotten like this brown couch we had a brown chair from someone. We had this leather red couch that Garrett had in college, and we had this like huge ottoman that was just like clunky. It was totally different. I was so grateful when my best friend Kennedy, her mom, was going through and getting new furniture, and so she gave us her old furniture. She gave us her kitchen table, and that was like a huge step up for us. And so I was so grateful for those things. And then slowly but surely we got oh my gosh, I remember when we got like a headboard. We had never had a headboard, and so we have a headboard and we have a bed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like now we have, that was from my mother and father-in-law. They gifted us money for Christmas so then we could buy a headboard and like matching furniture. And then my mom bought these really expensive linen bedspreads for me. Like it took time, and I was so grateful for everyone like pouring into us, but it took time. So it took time for us to like get nice furniture and not have like our college stuff. And also like my routines were completely shit. Like I could not keep up. I couldn't keep up with the job. I couldn't keep up with podcasting. I couldn't keep up with all the obligations of everything. I did not have the tools. I did not have the tactics. And so to look back at that and then be where I am right now, I'm like, holy smokes. Like Garrett and I are gonna celebrate our 3rd anniversary October 10th. And I just like think back to us and when we started, I'm just so proud of us, and I'm so proud of me, because the person I am today is totally different than the person that I was then. and I was just like a literal shell of my person. And I remember thinking, why can't I be like the same person I was in high school? Like, it was so easy then. Like, I didn't have all this like anxiety and I wasn't sleeping. And so I just remember telling myself, like, it's not always going to be like this. It won't always be like this. You're going to be happier. You're going to be happier. And now, in hindsight, looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, she had to do the hard work. She had to pick herself up. She had to start doing those tiny little routines that have now built into who I am now. And this summer was entirely a lot more learning, but I wouldn't be where I am right now if I didn't start in 2020 or even before. But 2020 was really, really tough on me. Everyone, I'm not saying I'm special, but I wouldn't have been able to stack upon that if I wouldn't have really been diligent and getting stuff done. So I can't beat myself up for not keeping up with like household chores or dogs or any of those things, because now, like, the effort I put in then, it's paying off. I have a clean home. I have routines put into place where, you know, I'm doing laundry on certain days and I'm doing dishes in the morning. When I wake up, as I'm making my coffee and waiting for my eggs to cook on the stove, I'm unloading the dishwasher and I'm loading dishes back up. So I don't have an onslaught of dishes everywhere. And it is just a completely different mindset. And so now I feel so comfortable vlogging, and I have like a bunch of videos that I like started to record and then didn't record. I posted 2 videos in 2021 and nothing in 2022. So 2021 I posted because I thought, oh, like, we're in our new house. Like, I posted our moving video and then nothing else after that. And then 2022, I was still working on my routines. I was still working on all of the things. And in 2023, this summer, I was like, this is something you've wanted to do for a while. Like, so long I've wanted to do it. And it was one thing after another. It was my job. It was balancing things. And I am just so proud of where I'm at. The choices I had to make to be able to set up the life that I get to live. And in May, I told myself, it was like the May 31st or something like that, I'd given myself a month, because May, I had started my new job, and I was like, okay, the month of May, you're good, okay? Just get your bearings, be who you are, and then come June, we're gonna knock it out of the park and we're gonna start vlogging. So June rolls around and I record my videos and I get them uploaded slowly, oh my gosh, but I didn't stop recording. I was like, you know what, you're gonna buckle down. You are not going to quit. That is something that is so easy to get in your head. You're like, oh, I'll quit. Oh, like, when it gets hard, I'll just skip a couple weeks until I catch up. No, like, I was recording and I was vlogging, and this summer I got the opportunity to vlog and then look back at them and look back at what I was doing. And this summer has been the best summer. I have learned so much. I've grown so much. And the vlogging part of it, I get to relive some of that. I know that my podcast, I'm able to use this as a form of a diary, and I wanted also like a visual diary. And I have always loved home videos. So right now my style of vlog on YouTube is very, very much home video. I'm putting like my family in it, whatever events, and I am really bad at it. I will tell you that. Like, I am super bad at editing, recording for 2 days and then forgetting to record the rest of the day. I mean, it's pretty awful, to be honest, but I'm trying really hard to gain momentum and hone my craft, because when I first started podcasting, I mean, those first couple episodes are downright terrible. I mean, they are despicable. They're so embarrassing. But in the moment, I'm so proud of them. So I'm not going to get any better if I don't try and I don't learn things. I feel like Google and like those YouTube videos of people like showing you how to do things. Oh, I love them. I've been using them so much. But this just goes to show you can learn anything you put your mind to. Google has everything. Bing, whatever search engine you have, the internet has so many answers. Just think about it. Like, we have never had so much knowledge in our back pocket ever before. So why wouldn't you utilize it? I'm like, oh my gosh, like, if this is insane. And I want to make sure that I am continuing to learn. And I don't ever want to become complacent or not trying new things or learning a new skill that I've never had before. And so this summer, like, vlogging has been such an awesome challenge for me. I love it. And I also, because we had so many events and I traveled so much this summer, I'm able to capture those memories instead of just a photo. I love photos. I think they're so fun. But video, it like gives you a little extra. It gives you something. And I've had like several weddings, several bachelorettes, and I am worried a little bit as we go in the fall and winter. I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to record? But I know that if I just keep consistent with it, I know it will come together. Lily went to college, and so I have vlogs of her last summer as a high schooler. You know, it's one of those things that before I wouldn't have had the tools, the know-how to do it. And this year I've just really focused and also put my goals first. Instead of, someone else's idea of what I should be doing, instead of my boss's expectations for whatever job I have at the time. Right now I'm working for my mom and stepdad, so I do put their needs before them. Mom, if you're listening. But, I'm setting boundaries, and I am also making sure that whatever I am agreeing to, whatever obligation, whatever it is, it's because I want to do it and it's going to add value to my life. It's not because somebody else wants me to do it or somebody else thinks that this is a good idea or a good plan. It's what I want and what I'm feeling and how it's going to impact me and how it's going to be a building block for the next year or the year after that. Because if I did not put the building blocks in 2019, 2020, any time, all of your experience is so important. And I used to think, oh my gosh, like I've had quite a few jobs. I didn't really have any jobs in high school. And so when I got to college, I was like, I need to get a job. I need to get some experience. I need to fill my resume. But a lot of the jobs that I picked, I really didn't feel any like resident. Nothing was right. I didn't think that it was what I needed. I tried a lot of things. There was a lot of things that I knew right off the bat were not for me. Some of them, it took like a few months for me to get that figured out. A book that I read was The Defining Decade. That was so good, and it helped me realize that the multiple jobs I had was actually not a waste of time. It was giving me experience. It was giving me the tools to work through anything and to have that grit to move forward and to just try new things, make connections, and know for a fact I didn't want to do that. It's better to try it and think, oh gosh, that was not for me, in comparison to, oh, I wish I could have tried that. I wish I could have done that. I will have no question in my mind. I tried the thing, I didn't want to do it. So all your experience is given to you for a reason, and you should be able to use that and build upon it, even if you don't want to be in that industry, even if you don't want that job anymore. All of the things that you experience are your building blocks That's your foundation, so you can move to the next level and go to the next stage of your life. Hey, I hope that you're enjoying today's podcast episode. Just a quick interruption to let you know that Golden Hour Drip has a weekly newsletter that comes out. This has bonus content, weekly updates, and future event information. If you haven't already, go down to the show notes, click the link, and join today. Now, back to the show. Because even if you have to start over or do something new, you're never really starting from zero, you're starting from experience. Everything you've done up to that point is going to help you in the next level and in the next thing. So let's get into the peak and the pit of this episode of my past week. So the peak of this week is definitely to welcome fall. We cleared off the back patio and we had a bonfire. Oh my gosh. I did not realize how much lumber we've accumulated from the summer storms this year. Holy smokes, the fire was insane. It was so big. If you want to see how big it is, I just talked about my vlogs. Go check out some of those vlogs and they will have my bonfire in it. But bonfires are the epitome of fall, and I cannot wait to be outside on my hammock watching our little fire. Now, a lot of the trees that we had accumulated, we put in our back ditch and we lit it on fire. We have a smaller fireplace for just wood in general, but also inside we have a faux fireplace, and that is my absolute favorite in the fall, to have my little candles lit, to have my fireplace going, and to be watching a movie. It is just top tier. One thing I will say, I talked about rotting on the couch before. My goal for the Burr months is to not lose momentum. And it's not to lay on the couch 24/7. It is so easy to log off work and feel really, really low energy and just head to the couch. This will be my first fall and winter working from home, so I'm nervous to see how that will impact my energy levels. I am putting in place some routines to help me not, whether that is exercising or meeting with friends or traveling. I mean, this past summer, I've never traveled as much as I did. It has been so nice. I did solo trips, I did family trips, I did Garrett and I trips, and I loved every aspect of it. In the fall and winter, a lot of the weekends are filled with family, holidays, gatherings, football games, all the things. So I want to be conscientious that I need to spend time with my family, but I also want to have those trips still in the fall and winter that are fun and keep me energetic and excited and keep my momentum going. But there's nothing I love more than a fireplace or a bonfire, sitting on my hammock, cozied up with a blanket. I take blankets outside, I'm not sure if you do, but we have outdoor quilts and indoor quilts, couch quilts, and my outdoor quilts, sometimes I'm laying them on the ground, but most of the time I'm in a hammock, I'm cozied up in a chair. Also, I'm really excited. This was not planned, but Garrett and I's anniversary is normally during Prime Day. So October 10th is our anniversary, and Prime Day this year is the 10th and the 11th. This has happened for the past couple of years. I remember the first year we got married, it was 4 days after we had gotten married. And so we had all of our discounted wedding registry stuff. We also had a bunch of Amazon gift cards, and it was Prime Day. So it was discount on discount on discount on free money from our wedding registry, which helps because for our anniversary presents to each other, Amazon Prime is perfect for that. If you can keep a secret, I'm purchasing for Garrett and I's anniversary an espresso machine. I'm so excited. I've wanted an espresso machine for a very long time. Lily got our Keurig when she went to college. Lily and I devised a plan to get the Keurig out of my house because she needed one for her dorm, obviously, and I want a espresso. So I'm purchasing an espresso. I want like a smaller one because I don't like clutter. I don't want things on my countertop. And I know that it will be nice and compact and in its corner. So that's what I'm getting us for our anniversary. I'm not sure what Garrett is getting me, but I will be excited to see what it is. But espresso machine for us. I've been doing the instant coffee, but it's been summertime. It's been beautiful. An iced coffee? Heck yes. Well, come fall, I'm gonna want a warm cup of coffee. I've gotten like these mugs that are handmade instead of just going to like commercial, like a store, like purchasing a ceramic mug. No, like mine are from an artist. I got a really cute one for my birthday. My mother-in-law kicked us off and got Garrett and I these beautiful mugs, and then this past summer during the farmers market I got another mug. So our collection is slowly growing, but it makes me so excited, and I want an espresso to continue with like the fall vibes. I've been loving cinnamon in my coffee because of fall, and I will say my favorite Starbucks drink has been a shaken espresso with 3 pumps of the apple cinnamon syrup. Ooh, it has been amazing. And I've been having it for the past 3 weeks, even though it's technically still been summer. You could definitely say I'm ready to kiss summer goodbye. Like, I am over her. She gave me so much learning. She gave me so much opportunity. I've loved being outside, being in the garden, which reminds me, I just collected the last 4 cucumbers from our garden bed, and I'm going to be saving the seeds for next year. I'm so excited. I'm saving my zinnia seeds. I saved tomato seeds because they say if you save the seeds from the parent plant that, you know, grew in the environment, they do better for your environment. Like they'll be more resistant to the heat, or if you get lots of rain in your area. So I'm very excited for that. And our garden, I had to tear her down. She looked so rough. Like, our tomato cages had these dead vines just like holding on for dear life in them. So I took all that down, cleaned it all out. I've been feeling very productive in the cleansing of summer to fall, which brings me to my pit of the week. Goodbye summer clothes. Oh my gosh. I do this where I transition my clothes. It helps you forget what you have, so then when you open up your tote, you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot I had this. Oh my gosh, like, I never would have got it. And to get rid of the clothes that you never wear, I like the sense of surprise that it has too. I will literally forget that I have pieces that I packed away the summer before or the fall before. So my pit was having to actually like do the work. Ugh, it sucks. Like, Garrett has to climb up in the attic. Like, I could climb the ladder and get to the attic too, but it's better with a 2-person doing the job because the totes are so heavy and it's such like a straight up and down that if you try to drop the tote's gonna break. So we do it together. But packing up like the summer clothes, you have to make the decision on, because sometimes tank tops can be worn in summer or fall or winter. Have you ever heard of layering? Like, come on. So I have to make the decision. Is this a summer outfit or a summer piece, or is this gonna be winter? Because sometimes I will keep winter things out during the summer because we might have a rainy day, which if you're hearing in the audio, it is starting to cloud up again and the thunder is coming. So you know what? This is God saying, good job, Logan, getting your work done. After you record your podcast, you can rot on the couch. So I'm really happy about that. But in the summertime, there can be chilly days. And so a good sweatshirt is always nice to have on hand. you get out of the pond, it's like nighttime or whatever. We have bonfires in the summer around the pond. Mosquitoes can come out. No thank you. I am wearing a hoodie. I'm protecting my body. So I'll have like some winter stuff in the summer and some summer stuff in the winter, but a bulk of it goes in the tote because I want to be surprised. I want it to be like I got this piece again for the very first time. I am, however, a little nervous to take my fall because I made the transition. I've packed all my summer clothes. I have not yet pulled the fall clothes down because, like I said, I need Garrett to help me with this, and right now, like, he's out. I don't know what he's doing, but he's hanging out with a friend. I love it when he leaves so I can clean the house and do our transition because he gets in the way. He really does. He doesn't know my technique. He will play with the dogs. I don't know. I have to be alone. I like it the best when I'm cleaning the house. And so he's out, but I'm worried about getting my fall clothes and putting them in my closet because my closet's kind of full. Like, I will say, I donated a full trash bag of items that I no longer want or no longer need, no longer fit. And so I put those in a trash bag, and I bought a few shirts this past couple weeks. I bought two from from Kennedy's Boutique, hay bales and hangers. And then she also invited me to this other boutique was having a warehouse sale. So I got some shirts there, and it's very cozy, like it's very aesthetic and it's not too full. I hate an overly stuffed closet. So that's why I do a little transition with my summer clothes to fall clothes, because it gives me the option to fill my closet to the brim, but not overstuff it, because like half of my wardrobe is up in the attic. I'm a bit nervous to bring down the fall clothes, and I already know like there's three coats that I am gonna have to donate. Like I already know they're no longer part of my aesthetic, and I'm not gonna want to keep them. So I'm nervous to have the fall clothes come down, but I mean, first world problems. It's not a big deal. All my summer clothes are packed up. That was definitely the pit, and officially like saying goodbye to summer. She was so good to me this year. I grew so much. I can't stop saying it. Summer was amazing for me. I went to Austin, Texas. I went to Chicago. I went to Nashville. Like, there was so many places that I got to visit. I'm excited for this upcoming fall, like to visit more places. But this summer, never have I ever made as many connections as I did this year. I felt like myself again. I felt like I had gone back to being my outgoing, bubbly self, because for a time there, she was not around. She was going through some things. She, as in myself. So I was excited to welcome her back and welcome back that side of my personality. And I had so much fun this summer. I will say, there are a couple things that I don't know if you would call them habits, but some things I really enjoyed this summer. My eras, I guess. So on TikTok, I really love the Slovenian, oh my gosh, I'm gonna say this so wrong. Slovenian drama. This is, it's like Slovakian, but it's not Slovak. It's like Slovakian drama. Sylvanian drama. These are little like dolls that you can buy at, or figurines. They're animals, like an elephant or a hedgehog. I love these dramas on TikTok. Like, I watched them all summer long. They're hilarious. I will send them to like my sister and my husband. I'm like, oh, there you go. Like, what do you think? Their storylines are just so hilarious. I love like the cut to another person. But they're figurines, like they don't really have emotions, but the amount of emotion that's portrayed through the captions, it is top tier enjoyment. Okay, so go check them out if you have not. The next thing that I really enjoyed this summer was the show Never Have I Ever. I binge watched the crap out of that. So those were two things that I consumed. I thought this summer was going to be a heavy reading summer, and I was right. I read a bunch of wonderful, amazing books. Ellen Hildebrand was one of the authors that I read a lot during the summer. I love her books. They're so good, but they're like the perfect summer read, okay? A little bit of mystery. I also read The Lost Fisherman, or The Fisherman and the Lost Fisherman, so good. That was also recommended to me, so it wasn't something that I like sought out, but it was a pretty good book. Kindle Unlimited was my best friend, and I also started doing Audible again. I just got done with the book You Can't Hurt Me. That one, oh, so impactful. David Goggins is a wonderful author, and I mean, it was his life story. And I guess he had a ghostwriter, but it was amazing. It was great. It was so inspiring, and it makes me take a second look at the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm spending my time on, and how I could better redirect that energy. And I mean, wow, it was really good. So I've been enjoying Audible and Kindle Unlimited and physical books as well. I will always love a physical book. So that was like my themes for summer. I did a lot of personal growth. I did a lot of civilian drama. I can't ever say that right. Binge watched Never Have I Ever. I've also started watching Suits with Garrett. I really like Suits. And Audible. I kind of like the motivational books being read to me. I will say, like, I go through these like little spurts. I'll listen to music pretty heavy. I'm like, music. That's all I want to turn on. And then I will swap to, okay, podcast. I will binge podcasts. I'll be like, you know what? Like, I can't binge any more podcasts. I want to listen to an audiobook. So I go like through these little cycles of where I'm directing my attention. And I like a mix of them all. I think it's really good to have different things to do instead of just watch TV, and I can be listening to Audible as I'm driving somewhere, meeting a friend, or I can be outside in my garden and doing all the things. I will say, I am sad to see 2023 summer go. I am so excited for fall, and I'm ready to do like the indoor things. Since I've been working from home, I spent a lot of time outside, so I will miss that. I will miss like sitting on my back porch. I have this little card table set up, and I sat out there with an umbrella from the shade because you know I'm a skincare girly. Actually, that was something like skincare. So I'll finish that like one story. I put sunscreen on. I had my little umbrella protecting myself from the sun as I worked outside. But I've never gotten like routine facials. That is something that I definitely unlocked this summer. I have always had skincare. I've always like moisturized my skin. I've always taken off my makeup before bed. Those are things that I've been religious at since I started wearing makeup and started like when I hit puberty. So what, 12, 13, whenever I started wearing mascara, I washed my face and I always took it all off. So skincare and taking care of my, makeup situation has always been part of my routine. Something that I've added in is a facial. And I guess it started like in December of last year, but like this summer I like kept with it. Regularly scheduled facials, and now I get a facial every other week. That's insane. I am living my perfect best life, and it's a mindset. Like, I used to wish that I had a pretty house, or I had like a kitchen that was clean so I could vlog in it, or go to a facial, or get my hair done, or do any of these things, have a wonderfully curated wardrobe. It takes time, it takes effort, but you really can achieve it. I had to save so much money last year. I hit my financial goal in December, and then this year I've kept with a financial goal, but I was able to allot some of those funds with like my raise and everything to do self-care items. And we forget that self-care doesn't have to be the work part, because working out, that's a part of self-care, but it's work. Like, you have to go to the gym, and it cannot be considered as like a relaxing self-care. Taking a bath is self-care, but it also is like a routine thing that you have to do. I wanted to do self-care things because I loved myself and because I wanted to take care of my mental health and take care of myself. So getting a facial every other week, oh my gosh, like that's something I dreamed of as a child. Going to a workout class in the morning, that is something I dreamed of as a teenager. Like, I wanted to have somewhere to go. I wanted to be dressed up. I wanted to have a perfect like set outfit. And I've slowly been making these changes and working on myself and working on where I'm directing my focus. And I'm like, holy crap, like I'm finally where I wanted to be. And looking at it retrospectively, I'm like, golly, like past Logan really was doing some work because she was trying so hard. And there were some days where I thought, oh my gosh, is it even worth it? Like, I'm killing myself for no reason. And now I'm like, oh, like this was the reason. So I'm not taking like a step back in my work, because I'm still doing things that are pushing me towards the next goals. So I want like next year for me to say, oh, like Logan did work last year. Logan put in the effort. She had the habits. Right now, one of the habits, I've talked about it so many times, you're probably sick of it, but I've been trying to walk every day, 9 to 10. That's a habit that is killing me. It sucks. I hate it. I literally have to force myself to do it. But maybe, you know, it becomes second nature and I'll have to do a walk to get through my day. I'm like, really need a walk, really need some self-care. So this summer I was like, you know what, like a facial. I want a facial. I want to get a facial. I want to take care of my skin, because it is the first thing people look at. Like, you're looking at my face. That's showbiz, baby. Like, I want to be able to age gracefully, and I'm protecting my skin. I'm taking care of her, and I'm giving her all the things that will help her be successful in the next couple 10, 15 years. I will also say, I was listening to someone, they were an active like 75-year-old, and he was like, yeah, like I do this and I do that. And I was like, oh my gosh, like you're 70? Like, how are you 70? I also have not watched The Golden Bachelor, where it's the individuals who are older doing the Bachelorette franchise, the Bachelor franchise. They're active, but they're also kind of old, and that makes me like really, really happy, because I've always had this like negative connotation of the second half of my 20s, you know? I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's more to life. Like, we need to be setting yourself up for success and the longevity, because you have a lot more life to live. You have a lot more things to accomplish and to do. And don't worry, I have like 7 notebooks that I have set up. I'm a notebook girly. I love all the things. But I'm like, oh, we're going to work on this goal for this notebook, and we're going to work on this goal for this notebook. And it makes me feel better that I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're only 25, Miss Thing. Like, you have plenty of time to achieve all the other things that you want. 30 is not old. 40 is not old. Like, it's literally breaking my brain sometimes thinking about it. But that was also a realization that I learned this summer, is that my life is not ending at 25. My life does not end at 28. My life will not end with children. My life will not end when I am 35, 40, 50, whatever. Like, there's so much life to live, so many things to do. And I was really, really scared to turn 25 in May. And May is really like the start of summer. So, and maybe it's all the personal growth I've gone through. Maybe it's experiencing things. Maybe it is pushing myself out of my comfort zone, because I did a lot of that. I was I was pushing myself out of my comfort zone and it didn't feel good all the time. And I've also been trying to take care of my body in the best way possible by eating protein in the morning and getting my steps in and going to the chiropractor. I did dry needling. I've gotten massages. Like, it really was a summer of just like intensive self-care and personal growth. And I can't help but think that this is preparing me for the next level, for the next part in my life. I mean, it truly is. I'm laying the foundational work so I can move forward in the next level, the next generation, the next thing of my life. It's a very pivotal, I will say. And 2024, I know it's a little early to talk about it. I know it's too early to talk about it, but I can't help but start envisioning and start planning. You guys know I love my dream journal, where it's a notebook that I have that I've printed out photos from the internet. I've photoshopped my face on people, goals that I want to achieve. You know that it's thunderstorming right now. It'd be a perfect journaling opportunity to cozy up inside because you can't go outside, so the activities are definitely limited, but to cozy up inside, to start laying the foundation and start planning for the upcoming year. I mean, it has me so excited. And I really will say 2023 was not a flop. It was a flourish, and I cannot wait. I'm excited to see what the future holds. I'm excited for the next steps. I'm excited for this fall. I'm going to be doing all the typical fall things. So I know I've talked about my vlog, and this is so typical me. Like, I don't like to talk about things until I've healed from them. And Amy Porterfield says this the best. I watched her speak in Scottsdale, Arizona this year, and she said, and it like encapsulated everything that I've ever thought, but she said, I don't like talking about my wounds when they're gushing blood. I'm not going to talk about the things that are stressing me out or is a problem that I'm working on and trying to overcome. But when that is healed, when it's a scar, then I'm ready to talk about it. And that's like, for me, I was like, you have said it perfectly. Like, I don't want to talk about the things when I'm in the thick of it. I don't want to talk about the things when I'm having so much pain, but I'll be able to talk about it when it's a scar. I'll be able to talk about it when I've emotionally processed it and worked through it. In my vlog, definitely, like, I have had like this emotional like distress over it, that I'm not good enough, or that my videos aren't good, or my editing skills are bad, or I'm slow to upload, and I'm working through this mess of things. But also, I didn't want to talk about my podcast when I first uploaded videos. When I first started doing episodes, I kept like the first 5 episodes totally secret. So, I mean, it is what it is. I like to show it as the finished product instead of working through it, because sometimes you need that privacy to cry as you're struggling through something. I mean, I'll tell like my personal like friends, not really. I'll tell my mom, I'll tell my husband sometimes, definitely tell my journal, but I feel like it's starting to heal and I'm starting to get the hang of things. So if you have not subscribed to my personal vlogging YouTube, it's at Logan Lee Miller. This fall I will be doing all the typical like cozy videos. I'm really excited for fall. I'm really excited for Christmas, and so go check those out if you want more content that is my personal life instead of just my podcast, because my podcast really is time for me to inspire and to encourage others. But if you want more of like the chatty, just talking, what I'm doing day to day, the vlog will be perfect for you. And also my TikTok, Logan Lee Miller and Golden Hour Drip. You can follow both of those if you want even more content. So thank you so much for listening today. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to rate and review if you haven't already. Send to a friend, all the things, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.